John Elligan, a New York Times reporter, spent a week training in Iton, Kenya, before his Placer 16th marathon, the Cape Town Marathon. He said, at a glance, his hope was to push his 14-year-old personal best and 18-year-old 250 finish into the early 2-hour range. The idea of a big improvement seemed simple, but his legs had a different story. Elligan recalled how, during the start of the race, a dull throbbing in his hamstrings began in the first mile. He'd already been training hard ever since he was 40. He'd added strength training, foam rolling, stretching, more recovery time, extra sleep, and he'd noticed a better speed in the miles and flats. Still, the cramps would arrive on the final 13 miles, like a tug-of-war. After a November race that left him looking back in the rearview glass, he avoided the same cravings: no gel, no salty drink, no potato, nothing. When he stopped, a friend suggested that the real answer lay in a Kenyan village called Iton. It's a place that the world knows for producing elite runners. About half a hostel of the 500,000 residents are so poor that the of a big prize could lift their entire household out of poverty. Elligan's first morning there, he stood along the dusty main road watching from the sidelines as packs of runners, turbulent birds in formation, cut through the narrow lanes. They moved with effortless efficiency, their strides smooth and posture straight. Richard Much, the coach of the local team he joined, later explained the ethos that permeates the place. "It's running for their lives," he said. "They're either chasing scholarship money or money from major competitions." Elligan realized that training in Iton wasn't merely a physical change, it was a mental shift. The mindset, determination, focus, a refusal to negotiate with the aches. Above all, the altitude of 8,000 feet in the Rift Valley forced the body to adapt. Every breath worked harder. In that week, Elligan's body was given micro-stresses that forced muscles to reinforce themselves, a training quality he had only begun to appreciate in his 40s. He also learned to question his cravings for aches. Sometimes the pain was a sign of muscle fatigue, sometimes a sign of mental breakdown. In Iton he found a running community that nipples motivation into pain, a way to keep going. A key takeaway from the article is that the benefit Elligan gained was not an obvious, new running technique or a top-level training shoe, but a shift in perspective. He learned that what has been the literal obstacle of hamstring cramps and tug-of-war audigo has a solution that starts from the inside: mental toughness and the humility to accept pain as part of the journey. Ultimately, his training time in the Kenyan village ended up being the hidden ingredient to his goal of beating his old personal best. And as this personal narrative shows, sometimes the fastest marathon race of your life can only be found in a remote village that proudly pays a living to train at the impossible. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, feel free to subscribe for more inspiring journeys.